I failed at Forex for nearly 2 years until I did a few things in my trading and outside trading that really had a profound impact on the results that I started seeing. And I want to share that with you guys. So I have a cup of tea here, and I recommend you guys to get some tea because it's going to be a long video. Very different to my usual videos. Because I feel like I just want to connect with you guys, speak to you, share my journey, and you guys can get to pick my brain a bit, get to understand more insights of what was really happening, say about 4 years ago. Because I'm training 6 years right now. This year ends, it's gonna be my 7th year training. So what was it like 2 years when I was just losing for that 2 years? What happened? What did I do? What really changed in my mind? What was the aha moment? The epiphany that do this and then things start changing. When did that happen? So if I go back and I think about this, and I literally think about, if I go all the way back to when I was losing, the one thing I really picked up was I didn't have a strong why that really motivated me to follow my plan. I was motivated by money, and that wasn't strong enough to why I should be disciplined. And at this kind of point, 4 years later, my son is turning 1 right now. So let's say it was 3 years later, almost 3 years. And then my son is born, that day was kind of like life changing, because now it's like, what? There's someone depending on me. There's more reason to why I should be disciplined. And that day was the reason why I could say, even when I felt like I didn't want to do something, even if I felt like I wanted to break my plan, if I just looked back and I saw there's a little boy that depends on me. So it's like, hey, there's someone's life depending on you. Now it's harder to break the plan. And again, so I say, like, if you really want to change the whole game, the whole narrative about how you reach success, is that first thing that you do is ensure that your why is strong and you have a great purpose that you want to fulfill. That's the very first thing I started doing and really looking into. And as time went on, I started really like going into other things in my trading, more mechanically things in my trading, such as I really started tracking every trade I was taking. And tracking my trades really allowed me to understand my data. And I say data, I always talk about this. People always know in my trading space, in my trading community, on social media, Instagram, all everywhere. They always know, Shakil's always talking about probability. And I always say, you know what, this is the thing. That if you just train all the time, and you don't follow, a plan, and you don't journal down, how are you going to really know, if you're not journaling, that you need to correct something? You get what I'm saying? And a journal allows you to become more aware of what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, and to continue with what you must remove, what you should better. So that was the one thing I would say, like, just thinking about it, it's like I had the why, and then after the why, I had like the journal, and a journal every day. I just journal. And that is a starting point of really growth right now, because if you think about it, I started seeing the mistakes I was making. And remember, previously I didn't have a journal. So previously I was just trading, and I made the mistakes. I continue, go again, try to double account, continue with these bad habits. I started journaling. I started seeing, oh wait, there's this error. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. Oh no. Okay, now I'm taking accountability. I'm responsible for my actions. So that consequence I'm going to face. And I knew that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If I want a different outcome, I should have a different input. And for that, I'm responsible for my input. And so with that, I just looked into my trading and said, okay, my journal says that, look, I'm a good in trading in the Asian session. So why am I trading it? And because I have that data, I removed myself from Asian, So just going back to that and thinking about that, is that my journal was one of the second things that really changed the game for me. So I would say recommend you have a journal. Next thing I would say, looking again at it, is that I really narrowed down my trading to as simple as possible, because previously I'll be trading many pairs. Like, how many times have you just opened the market and you're looking at gold, US30, Nasdaq, Euro USD? Sorry. I'm not gonna cut it out. Anyway, Euro USD, you look at GP, JPY, all these pairs, right? And it's so much overwhelming, so much pressure, because now you have a lot to focus on. And what I just did is I removed all those pairs. I just removed all the pairs and started focusing on one simple pair. And that is the one thing that also I would say, really brought my focus into hyper focus. Because now previously if you have all these pairs, you're focused on everything, everywhere. You don't have hyper focus results or hyper results, meaning great results. You're just having either mediocre results or you're failing crazily. You understand? Because your focus is everywhere. So you're not really getting the whole feedback you really need or the feedback you desire because your focus is everywhere. It's spread across so many things. And I knew that outside trade, normal in business life, in personal goals, you need to hyper focus on a goal to achieve it. And that result the same thing in trading. So I just really came to trading and said, you know what, I'm gonna hyper focus on one pair. And I started doing that thing every single day, hyper one pair. And I started really understanding that, okay, this pair only moves in this specific time. And then I started hyper focusing not only just on the pair, but also the session the pair is more active in. And then from there, I was like, okay, now my strategy, I'm like, okay, I can't hop different strategies. I started focusing on one strategy, one pair, one session. And having it one rule over there really start changing the whole dynamic now, because you know what? When I'm journaling, I have the same session, the same pair, and the same strategy. So the data becomes more systematic. And that is why I have a systematic approach towards the market. Things slowly and gradually started changing over there. Because now the narrative of the story was no more just because of money right now. It's that I have a strong purpose. I have a systematic approach. The results became more systematic, more predictable to what I can expect. Then moving on, I started understanding that, look, I don't feel comfortable just dropping $1 million down in my trading account. I was like, nah. Or I would just drop down 100K and try to flip the 100K. That is not gonna work. And then what I did was I started looking into prop firms. And that was the changing point for Shaquille, is when I started trading prop firms. The reason why, prop firms requires you to become a real good trader, a very good trader. In fact, you need to have a trading plan. You need to know when not to trade, when to trade. And that is what I really did. I just started like going to the prop firm, have a journal, I have my trading plan, and I just followed that for 90 days, 3 months, and things started changing drastically. I'm talking about drastically. I started seeing so much more consistent profits. Not just profits, consistent. Meaning every month I'm in with a good ROI. 10%, 15%, 9%. And if you look at the percentage, so now again, my mind shifted from monetary to percentage. And I started valuing that 1%, 2%, 3% is fantabulous. It's fantabulous. Then, trying to flip an account. So I went from focusing on making a good ROI, a return on investment. So I bought a 100K account, boom, I go past it, great stuff. Now I'm like, you know what? All I need to focus on is making like 3-6%, at least 3-6% for the month. I did it gradual. There's 4 weeks in a month. So I'm like, okay, maybe 2, 4, 6, I can do like 2% per week or 1.5%. 1.5% is 3, 1.5%, 1.5%. So all I was targeting literally for the week is a 1.5%. So 1.5. I'm sure you could do that. Just think about it, like 1.5%, like 1.5%, bro. It's very easy. And that became less stressful. So what happened, I started realizing that if you trade under less stress, you start performing. And then I kept that, that mojo and continue until I cracked the fucking code, man. Just cracked it. And it's like, that's exactly what I did. I didn't do any crazy stuff. Now, that's trading wise. There was things I was doing outside trading, that has an impact on trading. So there was external, that's the internal habits, internal actions I had to take. And then there was the one of external actions which I had to take. Number one, when I really started seeing the success was I focused on my eating routine, how I ate, what I ate. I focused on my sleep. I focused on my gymming. I focused on reading my psychology, and that was necessarily the main things I focus on and every days. They all have impact on the internal thing, on trading, because if you look at gym requires discipline, right? To eat properly requires discipline, but at the same time, eating properly, it means that you have hyper focus. And I just said you must have hyper focus. So if you gym, it increases your focus, your testosterone as a male, as well as a female, Same with your eating. It requires discipline, but at the same time, it increases your focus because the food you're eating, your body starts, producing these chemicals and all this good stuff, that you need to be a high performance athlete. And then you move on, and if you think about it, the reading has a great impact on your psychology. And the more you read, the more you know, the more you can apply, the more your mind is broadened to more knowledge and perspectives, which can help you make your decision making on the market. All that happens, the sleep, you get enough sleep, you can actually focus on the market. So it all has an impact. I'm sure you're getting the gist of it, is that all of these things has an indirect impact on your trading. And I knew that. So I knew, okay, I must become a high performance athlete. And I just focused on the high performance athlete all the time. I became number one on the leaderboard of prop firms. Over and over and over again. I mean, look, it's 4 years, and then boom, I said 2 years after that I started, I was training for 3 years. 2 years good, doing all those gambling type of trading. It seemed like it was well, and then I got my son in the 3rd year, right, of training. And then he wasn't born. I found out I was gonna be a dad. And then the 4th year he was born, and that 4th year, those 2 years when I found out I'm gonna be a dad, and I found out that when my son was born, those 2 years, I was losing, crazy. And then the 5th, 6th year, life changing, and that's where I am right now. So if I could just give it all to you, that is it. If you just want to really go into that monk mode, focus on these things, and that will just change your entire game for you. It's a long video, but this is straight from my heart, guys, straight from my mind. Everything is very true. Yeah, and I think the next thing I want to say, probably just stop trying to compare yourself to the next trader. Stop watching every other trader. That's one thing. I don't watch traders. I don't necessarily watch traders to see how much profits they make and try to compete to get to his profits. No, I'm on my own thing. Stop trying to be in every other trader's community, Stop fucking dick riding. Stop dick riding people, man. Fuck it. Yes, God, please. So, anyway, stop trying to just be up in the hype. That's it. I just think that's why you see Shaquille just being in his lane. I'm always in my lane because I know, man, how much can a hype last? It's not gonna, So, yeah, that's for me to you, man. Hyper focus. That's what you need. Hyper focus. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do like it, of course, just like this video, man. And I see 60% of you guys who watch are not subscribed. If you really enjoy and you continue watching the videos, do subscribe. And if you enjoy these type of videos, let me know in the comments, because remember, the only way I know if you guys enjoy these type of videos is if you let me know in the comments, Shaquille, I actually enjoy these type of videos, or if you can recommend what videos I should make for you guys. I'll continue making those videos for you. Okay, peace, love, happiness, and cheers, guys. I'm out.